Hello everyone. So today we will solve the exercise questions of the chapter atoms, which is chapter number 12 of class 12. So the first question you can see on the screen is: suppose you are given a chance to repeat the alpha scattering experiment, the Rutherford alpha scattering experiment. Okay, so using a thin sheet of solid hydrogen in place of gold foil. So there in Rutherford model we had the target sheet, or the target was gold foil, and you were firing alpha particles towards that. So now in place of the gold foil you will replace that with solid hydrogen, and the same alpha particle will be fired, okay, towards the solid hydrogen. Then what results would you expect? What results would you see? Okay, so firstly you see that alpha particle, the mass of alpha particle, yes, is 4 times the mass of proton. Or you can say, like, we are considering the nucleus, isn't it? Alpha particle, that is helium nucleus, is 4 times the mass of proton, which is nearly 4 times the mass of hydrogen atom. Okay, so in that case what will happen? The scattering angle that you got in the previous experiment, or the Rutherford alpha particle experiment, the scattering angle will be less. Okay, the value of the angles will be less. That is number one. And number two is alpha particle will not bounce back. Okay, so number one we can write down less scattering angle will happen, less scattering angle. Number two we can write down alpha particles will not bounce back. Okay, so we can go to question number 3. So shortest wavelength present in Paschen series of spectral lines. Now for shortest wavelength you have to look for maximum energy, isn't it? Shortest wavelength, maximum energy. So maximum energy will be emitted, maximum energy photons will be emitted when the transition happens from infinity to n equal to 3 and final equal to 3. So Paschen series, for Paschen series n final was 3, right? And initial has to be infinity. Now in that case energy of the photons emitted will be maximum, and therefore wavelength will be minimum. So we can use the relation 1 by lambda equal to RH 1 by 3 square minus 1 by infinity square, which is RH divided by 9. So lambda equal to 9 divided by RH. Okay, 9 divided by RH, 9 divided by 1.097 into 10 to the power 7. Okay, once you perform the calculation you'll get 8.204 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter, and in angstrom 8204 angstrom. Okay, so that is lambda minimum in Paschen series. 1 angstrom is 10 to the power minus 10 meter. Question number 4 next. So you have a difference of 2.3 electron volt between two energy levels in an atom. Now the photon that will be emitted, or the radiation that will be emitted will have what frequency? You need to find out the frequency of the radiation that will be emitted. Okay, when the transition happens from this higher level to lower level. So the difference between the two level is 2.3 electron volt. So this is the transition that will happen. This difference is 2.3 eV. This is value of E, isn't it? 2.3 eV. Now if you put that in joule, SI unit, right? You have to get that in SI unit. That will be 2.3 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule now. So E is h nu. H nu is that value. Okay, or directly h nu is equal to E. So nu equal to E by h. So value of E is 2.3 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 divided by 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 34. Okay, so once you perform the calculation you'll get 0.55 into 10 to the power minus 15, which is 5.5 into 10 to the power minus 14 hertz. So that was question number 4. Now this transition happened and photon is emitted. Okay, photon is emitted of energy h nu. That nu we found out. Okay. Question number 5. So ground state energy of hydrogen atom is given minus 13.6 electron volt. What are the kinetic energy and potential energy? So we know, well, given is minus 13.6 electron volt. Okay, ground state energy of hydrogen atom. Now we know that kinetic energy is minus times of total energy. Yes, kinetic energy is minus times of total energy, and therefore the kinetic energy is 13.6 electron volt, and potential energy is double of total energy. And when you multiply minus 13.6 by 2, you get minus 27.2 electron volt. Okay, question number 6. A hydrogen atom initially in the ground state, ground level, okay, absorbs a photon which excites it to n equal to 4 level. You have to determine the wavelength and frequency of the photon emitted. So hydrogen atom, yes, so we have this energy relation as minus 13.6 divided by n square electron volt. Now from ground state the transition happened to n equal to 4. So E1 is minus 13.6 divided by 1 square, that is minus 13.6 electron volt, and n equal to 4. E4 is minus 13.6 divided by 4 square, right? So 4 square is 16. If you do this calculation, you get minus 0.85 electron volt. In fact, you don't have to do, because while doing the theory I told you to memorize these values, the energy level, various energy level of hydrogen atom. Now the transition is happening from ground state to n equal to 4. So you are finding out the wavelength and frequency of the photon. Okay, acceleration is happening from ground state to n equal to 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the transition is happening from ground state to n equal to 4. This is the transition happening. So what is the wavelength and frequency of the photon? Determine the wavelength and frequency of the photon absorbed. Okay, so E equals to E4 minus E1 minus 0.85 minus 13.6. okay, that will get you 12.75 electron volt. Now when you convert that into joule, that is SI, 12.75, because we are finding out wavelength and frequency, therefore we need the result in SI unit. Okay, so into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. That's how you convert. Yes, now this will get you 2.04 into 10 to the power minus 20 into 10 to the power minus 20 joule. So that is the energy. Now if you want to find out the frequency, so nu equals to 2.04 into 10 to the power minus 20 divided by h, Planck's constant, whose value is 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 34. Now this gives you 3.09 into 10 to the power 15 hertz. So how do you find out lambda? So nu equal to c by lambda, right? So lambda equal to c by nu. So c is 3 into 10 to the power 8 and nu is 3.09 into 10 to the power 15. Okay, so you perform this division, you get 0.97 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter. So if we put that as 970, okay, 970 nanometer, you can put that, isn't it? No, 970 angstrom it will be, 97 nanometer, 97 nanometer. So this is the frequency and this is the wavelength. Okay, So question number 7 next. Okay, read the question once. Now, using Bohr's model, you have to calculate the speed of the electron in hydrogen atom. Speed and orbital time period you have to calculate for n equal to 1, 2, 3. Okay. So you can do this with the relation. For speed part, we had v equal to, well, I'll be using 2.2. If you remember, you can go ahead with 2.2 into 10 to the power 6, or you can go with 2 into 10 to the power 6 also. It won't matter. The result will vary by a small margin, and that won't matter. The relation is 2.2 into 10 to the power 6 divided by n meter per second. So V1 is divided by 2, right? 2.2 into 10 to the power 6 divided by 2, that is 1.1 into 10 to the power 6 meter per second. V2 is 2.2 into 10 to the power 6 divided by, I made a mistake, yes, that was actually V2. Okay. V1 is 2.2 into 10 to the power 6 divided by 1, which is 2.2 into 10 to the power 6 meter per second. V2 is 2.2 into 10 to the power 6 divided by 2, which is 1.1 into 10 to the power 6 meter per second. V3 is 2.2 into 10 to the power 6 divided by 3 meter per second. That's a relation, yes. Even if you don't write the units in the first step, it does, but in the last step you must. So this gives you 0.73 into 10 to the power 6 meter per second. Now in scientific notation this can be written as 7.3 into 10 to the power 5 meter per second. Now for time period, what is the relation? 1.51 into 10 to the power minus 16 n cube seconds. Okay, this is Vn. So T1 is 1.51 into 10 to the power minus 16 seconds only. T2 you have to multiply, like this will become 2 cube, that is 8. Yes. So once you multiply with 8, you'll get 12.08 into 10 to the power minus 16 seconds. T3 is, then you have to put 3 cube, that is 27. So you have to multiply this number by 27. 1.51 into 27, that will get you 40.77 into 10 to the power minus 16 seconds. So these are the results. Okay. Question number 8 next. Radius of innermost orbit of hydrogen atom is given to be this 5.3, that is 0.53 angstrom it is. So you have to find out the radius for n equal to 2 and n equal to 3. So we already have worked out this relation. For Rn we have 0.53 n square angstrom. Yes. So for R2 you'll have 0.53 into 4 angstrom. Yes, and that will get you 2.12 angstrom. Similarly for R3, 0.53 into 3 square is 9 angstrom, and that will get you 4.77 angstrom. So these are your results. Question number 9 next. So 12.5 electron volt beam is used to bombard gaseous hydrogen at room temperature. So room temperature, that is you have ground state hydrogen and you are exciting it by supplying 12.5 electron volt energy. So what series of wavelength will be emitted? So you see what will happen. Firstly you excite the ground state hydrogen, right? It absorbs 12.5 electron volt energy. Now the electrons will go to some higher state, we do not know what. Okay, will go to some higher state. Now you have to find out what is that higher state. Now this is an excited state now it is an excited state. Now hydrogen or electrons in hydrogen staying in the excited state is not a long term affair, right? It's not a long term affair, and therefore what will happen, the electrons will de-excite once again. Okay, so de-excitation can happen in this manner. It can happen stepwise or it can happen directly. All right, so let's find out the excitation happened to which energy level. We need to find that out first. So for finding out excitation energy, E equal to E final minus E initial. Now the supplied energy was 12.5 electron volt, and E final we are finding out, right? And it was in ground state, so minus 13.6. So EF becomes 12.5 minus 13.6, which is 1.1 minus 1.1 electron volt. Okay, now you see we don't have any in hydrogen atom, we don't have any energy level which has energy minus 1.1. Therefore we'll be considering the nearest one, like minus 1.5. Say for E3 we have minus 1.5 electron volt. Yes, and therefore we are considering that the transition happened to E3 or n equal to 3, right? So n final number, therefore n final number, this can be written as E3 equal to minus 1.5 electron volt. Therefore E final is nearly equal to E3. Therefore n final number is 3. Okay, now you see the transition will happen 1, 2, 3. The transition can happen this way or this way. Now for this you'll have Lyman series 3 to 1. For this you'll have Lyman series 2 to 1. For this you'll have Balmer series 3 to 2. Okay, so how do you find out the number of spectral lines? So required number of spectral lines or number of spectral lines relation is n into n minus 1 divided by 2. That is 3 into 3 minus 1 divided by 2. So it gets you 3. Okay, so 3 spectral lines will be emitted. So firstly we write down that Balmer series. One of them is Balmer series, right? 3 to 2. So Balmer series 3 to 2, 1 by lambda equal to RH 1 by n final. That is 2 square minus 1 by n initial is 3 square. Okay, I'm skipping the calculation, leaving it for you, or let's do it. 1.097 into 10 to the power 7 into 9 by 36. So lambda is equal to 36 divided by 1.097 into 9 into 10 to the power minus 7. Okay, and this gets you 3646 angstrom. Now for Lyman series, you have one as 3 to 1. Yes, so Lyman series 3 to 1, 1 by lambda equal to RH 1 by n final square minus 1 by n initial square, right? So you have 1.097 10 to the power 7 into 8 by 9 into 8 by 9. Therefore lambda is 9 divided by 1.097 into 8 into 10 to the power minus 7. This will get you 1025 angstrom. Then you have Lyman series 2 to 1. Lyman series 2 to 1. So 1 by lambda equal to RH 1 by 1 square minus 1 by 2 square. Now lambda is equal to, okay, I'll do one more step here. RH 1.097 10 to the power 7 into 3 by 4, right? 3 by 4. So lambda is equal to 4 divided by 1.097 into 3 into 10 to the power minus 7. Now this gets you 1215 angstrom. 1215 angstrom. So this sum was a bit longer, but you have many things to learn here. It's in various stages. Lastly, we have question number 10. So in accordance with Bohr's model, so by using Bohr's model, you have to find out the quantum number while Earth is revolving around the Sun. Okay, the radius and the mass of Earth is given. Earth's Sun radius is given and mass of Earth is given. Okay, also the velocity is also given. So if you use Bohr's model here, mvr equals to, we are considering that mass as capital M equals to nh by 2 pi. We need to find out n. The question is asking to find out n. So n is equal to 2 pi mvr divided by h, Planck's constant h. So 2 pi, 2 into 3.142 into, what is the mass given in the question? Mass is 6 into 10 to the power 24 kg given in SI. Velocity is 3 into 10 to the power 4 into r is 1.5 into 10 to the power 11. Okay, just perform the calculation. I am not going through. 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 34. Okay, do the calculation and you should get n as 2.6 into 10 to the power 74. So I'm closing this chapter. Next day we will start with moving charge and magnetism from term 1. Alright, thank you.